Hi, how are you? Last week we saw a Torah called Ki Tidzi, meaning go forth. This week I'm telling you about the Torah. It's called Ki Savo. It's actually Tavo. T is silence and it's pronounced as Ki Savo. So what that means when you enter. Deuteronomy chapter 26 talks about this one. Then it shall be when you enter in the land which the Lord your God gives you as an inheritance. So the mitzvah of Bikurim, meaning the first fruit offerings, this is what the Torah talks about. The Torah talks about the first fruit offerings. The Torah talks about the blessings and cursings which was given to the Israel people. The Torah also talks about how the generations after generations that the Torah should be kept. So basically, when we talk about the Bikurim, meaning the first fruit offerings and the tithes, those days, the Israelites, what they did, they were carrying all their first fruits of the lands. Basically, most of them were farmers. They must carry their first fruits every year by themselves, individually, in their shoulders, on their shoulders to Jerusalem. So the Jerusalem would be filled with these people, with all the vegetables and all the first fruits. They were carrying it to the temple to offer it to the God as the first fruits, and also they were paying the tithes to the they were giving offerings for the priests and the Levites, and also for the strangers or for the poor. So what happens here, when you offer this one, you have to narrate the Torah. What the Torah talks about is, when they narrate this one, they have to say, God, today I am declaring myself, or I'm declaring that I come to this land. Every year they have to declare the statement saying that I come to this land, I entered in this land, I was taken out to Egypt in certain time period, and I came back again like this. My fathers was like, they have to narrate this one every year. Why would they do it every year? Because after all, they already came to this place already, right? But the point is that when you declare that one, and you are supposed to observe the Torah. And when, according to the Torah, you will be receiving all the blessings of the land once you observe the Torah correctly. And also when they declare that, God, I am declaring this land, I am entering it today. Every day they will be saying this word, because every day living in Israel is a miracle by itself. Israel is surrounded by enemies. Israel is surrounded by Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Lebanon. All of them are surrounded by Israel. Israel can be attacked any moment. Israel can be taken out any moment. The day can be changed any minute. It can be changed. Remember, they were attacked before and they won the war, if you go and see and read the history of Israel. So, in this situation, every day is moving. Lately, Hamas, the group of Palestinian groups, they fought with Israel. For 2 months they were fighting. In this 2 months period, Hamas was seeking one Israeli soldier as a captive, so that they can demand or bargain to Israeli government to release all of their Hamas soldiers, hundreds and hundreds of them, captured by the Israeli people. But to their surprise, they couldn't get one Israeli soldier as their captive or as a POW. This is what called the protection of God. God's protection is there in that land every single day. That's why they go and pray, in this land, I declare this is my land, I came to this land. Every single day, it's a miracle for them. They declare that one. And the first fruit offerings, when they did these first fruit offerings for the people, and the tithings when they did it, when they helped the poor people, the laws are totally different. When you want to give to the poor people, You must give the best out of your table, whatever you are eating. You cannot give just, the leftovers or anything, or the extra food, or the food in the fridge for 3-4 days. No, you were supposed to give the best out of the table that what you're eating. And you are supposed to give the best clothing that you never wore in your life to these people, the poor people. See, the conditions and rules of such a high level thing, we did not practice all those things. We give the old food, the extra food, the waste food to the poor people. We give the torn, used clothes to the poor people. We don't maintain our standards. But God is not telling that. You're not supposed to do that. Torah talks about that very clearly. This is one of the things. And secondly, about the Torah writings on the mountain, there were 2 mountains when they entered it. They have to cross that mountain. One is Mount Gerizim, which is Mount of blessing, and one is Mount Ebal, is the Mount of curses. They were told to take the stones from the Jordan River and put it on these mountains and inscribe everything. All the Torahs of blessings, all the Torahs of cursings. This is what the whole Torah is about, Ki Savo, when you enter in. We are supposed to abide all the rules and regulations of this Torah. We are nowhere else, we can never ever, live without the Torah. We talked about this already in the last time when we talked about, like what it says that. Torah observance is a must in Israeli field and also for us. We have to observe this one. There's no way that we can escape from this one. Let me tell you one thing. This is about my analogy. In this world, we have a lot of kingdoms being established. Several kingdoms came and several kingdoms left. None of them brought any peace or any better life in this earth. We have several systems working here. We have kings ruling, and we had kings, we still have kings ruling, and we have democratic system, we have republican system, we have communism, we have generals ruling. So every system has their own protocols, their rules and regulations, but none of them is working to the mankind, because none of them has any in-depth in it. You don't have anything. These are not working to this humankind. God established basically on those days a fantastic human system. Remember, if the soul and the spirit, if it wants to retain or remain in our body sculpture, the human body needs to work on certain protocols. These are the God's instructions, mitzvah. These are the God's instructions for the humankind to observe, so that our physical body and the spiritual component in it will remain safety and healthy. That's very important, because it is not that a few commandments, just follow it and then it will do. It's almost like you need tons and tons of rules and regulations to encounter certain things. That's why the system is there. The system was established already. If we would have followed those systems, the earth, the globe, the humankind would have been in a very different level. We would have been facing all these calamities, economic collapses, healthcare issues. Nothing would have been there. Nothing would have been there. But we didn't follow. We slipped. Whenever we slipped, just like Israelites, will be given into the enemy's hand. And those days, their enemies were Satan. The kings of the other countries. They came and they looted. But these days, Satan is very smart. He works with the technology. We are all now slave to the modern day technologies. Right? So, the importance of the Torah, the system is there. We did not observe it. This is one more thing I don't understand, the traditions, how the traditions are getting involved in this one. I've been in the traditional system and I couldn't believe it. See, when I was a young boy, in my back home, they built a church, and they used to get only one offering in the church service. But when they start building the new church, they plan to have one more offering that they added it. They call as a church building fund offering. That's a second offering. So they started that. And after some time, they build the church, and we enjoy the new church. And after 15, 20 years after, we paid off all the debts of the church. But collecting the second service, second collection, or the second offering, just remained as it is. It is now a tradition, just like a tradition. They started, they routinely collecting the second offerings. And now, the second offerings have been increased. Now, they're keeping in the bank, and the bank is charging them just because we're keeping the money in the bank. So, in order to, work out with this issue, they start building a new church. Why a new church? Folks, maybe you people are listening to this one. Think about this one. Why a new church? Why don't you do something to the public? Why don't you do something to the common, your church members? Start some technology business, something. Start some kind of like workforce. Probably you can start some tailoring shops or something. There are a lot of unemployed people out there. Bring them in, teach them the best tailoring they can learn, and then make a big tailor shop or tailor company there, so they can stitch any cloth or every cloth for the church members for the festivals. They don't have to go to stitch anything outside. Wedding garments, festival garments, or any type of garments, they can do it. Even the pastoral garments, they can stitch there. You create people there and make them the best tailors possible. Or something, innovate. I'm just giving an example. And so that will be helpful for the people, and make the church saints to stitch it from there. And you make the shop inside the church complex itself. Or the second thing is, go and buy some land, or if you have land, start cultivating in the land. Do some farming, do some organic farming. So don't use fertilizers, don't infect or the vegetables or anything. Crop a good crop and give it to your church members, and you sell it to them. In this way, you are going to keep your church member healthy life. You can sell it, you market it in your church itself, so you can keep your members healthy. Instead of you building a church for 4 crores and keeping all your members sick people inside the building. Build them nice, their body structure, so that that's where your Holy Spirit is going to reside in. That's what the whole Torah is for. You are living life, daily, day-to-day, practical living life. How to keep your morality, how to keep your structure pure. That's very important to keep this Torah. That's what the Torah talks about. Instead of that, we are rejecting it. Okay, one more question I'll tell you. 1400 years, God told Israel people to follow the Torah, to observe the commandments. You're telling to me that when Jesus came in and he just eradicated all the Torah, eradicated all the commandments, and still punishing the Jewish people or anybody? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, a boy is playing in a house, and you're telling the boy, don't play any ball in the house, and you're beating him up if he plays. And the boy is playing every day, and he is getting everyday beatings. On one fine day, he is not playing anything, and still you go and bring him up and you're beating him. Then when the boy is asking, why are you beating him? I'm not playing. I said that, yeah, you're not playing, that's why I'm beating him. That's how it looks like. The Torah, they're compelled. God told them to, observe this Torah for all these years. All of a sudden, the denominations and the theologians are coming and telling, Jesus told, eradicate all the Torahs, no more commandments, nothing. Don't. I don't think that's the right thing. God said, Jesus said, basically, in order to get the grace and love, you need to have the commandments in you. The commandments will keep you safe, your body structure, your health, your soul and the spirit and the mind, and you will get the blessings from the God. And your generations after generations, you will get it. Ki tsavo means when you enter in, you will follow all these Torahs. You will follow all these commandments. You will observe all these rules and regulations. My four brothers, this system is already existing in. We totally forgot it. Now we are getting back again into this one. Once you're getting back into this one, you know there is no way go. You must observe it. That's what the time period you're pushed in now. So make sure that you're learning something and you're observing this one. You start thinking about this one. You don't have to stay in the same place and to do the mistakes again and over again. Okay, start learning something. Start think about this one. I'll come back with another Torah next time. Until then, be safe. All right, bye.